So I made donuts this morning. I don't know if I'll post this or not. I was thinking about it. So, this is my ADHD life. Welcome to it. My living room's a disaster. See? Well, the pandemic has been kind of rough for me. My schedule's based on external forces, and those external forces are gone, and I've let some friends down and kind of disappointed in myself. And one thing about ADHD is you spin yourself into a cycle. You think about those things over and over again, and then it just becomes part of you, and you kind of push it aside, but it's always there. You go about your day, and those thoughts are always there, and I don't know how to reconcile the situation, but thought I'd talk a little bit about what it's like to have ADHD and what it's like to be me, maybe. I don't know. So, I guess I'll start off with a little bit about me. I'm 42. I'll be 43 on June 2nd. And I was diagnosed in 2015, maybe 2016. I can't remember. Anyway, so I've kind of known probably most of my adult life, but this is my dog. He's wanting attention. He's an American Bulldog. That's Gunny. He's wanting food. Anyway, so I have a daughter with it, my youngest, and my oldest has it as well, but we think she's probably more autistic than anything. Go lay down, buddy. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Lay down. You want to go out? You want food? You want food. Anyway, raising her was rough, but we made it. She's a good kid. So I'm married. I have 3 kids. Been married for 21 years. 2 daughters and a son. So what it's like to have ADHD. That's a tough question to answer, and I don't think people, even with all the analogies that I could come up with and all the things that I could say about it, I don't know that I could really adequately describe it. But for me, it's like there's always something, that feeling you get when you feel like you have something to do, and you're checking the calendar and you're looking at your notes and you're looking at the watch, and you feel like you have something to do, and that's what it feels like. Sorry, he barks at every noise. That's kind of what it feels like. There's always something on the back of your mind that you have to do, and I try to write things down and try to offload those. If you guys have read certain books by a certain author about wizards and things like that, go to school, there's a device that the headmaster uses, and he takes out his wand and he puts his thoughts in there. I always think of writing my thoughts down as kind of like that, except that it doesn't always work to write them down, because then I lose those papers, or lose the file that they were in, or I forget where I put it, or I forget the password. Google passwords are my best friend, unless I forget the password or I move to another computer, and then I'm screwed. But coping in this world is a lot harder for me because I'm always trying to remind myself of those thoughts and try not to forget them, juggling them in my head constantly. Don't forget this, don't forget that, don't forget this, don't forget that. Even my morning routine is kind of a chore. It seems a lot of people kind of just do it on autopilot. For me, I have to consciously think about, okay, I need to get up, I have to take my pills, I have to go brush my teeth, I have to get dressed. And some mornings that can feel really overwhelming. So when I'm asked to do something, especially if there's like no deadline attached to it, or the deadline seems really far away, especially with us being stuck at home and not really having an end in sight, it can feel really like there's just no time attached. Time is really, really fluid for me. 5 minutes can feel like 5 years or 30 seconds. I'll be getting dressed in the morning and being attentive to it, doing everything, and the next thing I know, it's been 20 minutes. And I'm like, where did the time go? I literally have no idea where it is. Or my internal clock is spot on. I mean, I'll know exactly what time it is. There's no in between. It's either I have no idea what time it is or I'm exactly right. So, and I try really hard to allow for extra time to get things done and try to get places early. I know one thing that frustrates people is that when you're not on time. That's a social thing I've learned. So I try really hard to be respectful of that. I try really hard to be conscious of that. But that's another thing I have to juggle in my head is, what time is it? And so I have to be constantly conscious about that. There's I don't know if it's a lot for a lot of ADHD people, but for me, I slip into this void. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just like nothing exists, just timeless and weightless, and just, if you see me staring off into space, I'm probably in that void. I'm not there. I don't really know how else to describe it, but I just lose all sense of everything, and I'm lost in my head. So, anyway, for me, the pandemic has kind of just brought all of those just really to the forefront. And it's been really hard. It's been a struggle, and I've let some people down. I know I have, and I don't know how to fix it, but I hope I can. I've worked on writing down a schedule and sticking to it, and writing down lists of things that need to be done, and working through that, and that's the best thing I can do at this point. But that's the thing about ADHD is sometimes you do something and it makes a relationship irreparable. And that's life. But I just keep plugging on, and hopefully that someday I will accept myself for who I am and maybe find people that do. But until then, I don't know. This is great for a first vlog. I'm crying on camera. Anyway. So that's my ADHD life in quarantine. Maybe you guys can understand a little bit more about what it's like to have ADHD and pass it on to your friends and stuff like that. I'm not trying to copy anybody else's things. I just thought I'd throw my thoughts out there into the void. So, stay safe, stay healthy. Have a good day, y'all.